Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. In today's video, we are talking about the distance formula. Now, what is the out your formula for you? Now, if you take a look here, there's a lot of empty spots here. So we're going to start by not doing a question, but I am also going to just walk you through what the formula is saying. Let's go ahead off to the side. I'm going to draw out a thinking bubble, and we're going to list out a label your point x1, comma, y1, close it, and x2, comma, y2. So whatever points they give you, you're going to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Step number 1, you're going to put in your points here in a specific order. Y1. So whatever numbers there are here, go ahead and write them in. From here, I'm going to use highlighters. You're going to add, subtract, and write out with counters what those numbers are. So here, we're going to be using counters. Minus, minus, but you're just going to be subtracting. This is a minus here, so we're going to be subtracting. We're going to be subtracting with counters. After you have written down your numbers, you're going to expand. This is from yesterday's lesson on your perfect squares. You expand this number twice. Okay, so whatever that number is, you're going to write it out twice. And you're going to square this number. This is perfect squares. So you're going to write this out twice. You're going to then multiply. Whatever those answers are, you're going to write them here. After that, you're going to take these two numbers and you're going to add. After adding, again, adding is counters. This is where if you need yesterday's cheat sheet, let me take it out. This is going to be from yesterday's cheat sheet. So if you want to take that out, please take that out. Because the next step after expanding the square root is to simplify the square root. Is. Okay, again, if you need to take this out, go ahead and take this out. We will need this. I will be referring to it. So a lot of information, very little numbers, actually no numbers at all. So let's go ahead and give you an example of what this means with numbers. Go ahead and turn your page. Let's start with example number 1. You are going to be identifying your points as x1, y1, x2, y2. Step number 2, we have your x2, x1, y2. Was also 5. Y2 is -6. y1 is 1. You're going to combine, you're going to subtract here, you're going to subtract here. So we are subtracting 5 minus 5, which is 0. Negative and what we are expanding is our exponent of 2. This goes back again to yesterday's lesson. If you need to use your cheat sheet, go ahead and look at your cheat sheet. So 0 squared, we're going to expand that as times 7. So I'm going to write instead negative 7 times negative 7 because that's the number we have. Next, you're going to multiply. This is times, multiply. Different. These are same. So that means I'm going to have a positive. 7 times 7 is 49. Here I am adding. 0 plus 49 is still 49. And now in this location, you're going to expand your square root. Oh, look at that. Sorry, I apologize. My paper. So you're going to expand your square root. Again, I'm going to go back to my paper. And I'm looking at 49. So that means I'm going to write this expansion as 7 times 7. My expansion here is 7. Surrounded. That's our answer. So a couple times I needed to use my cheat sheet. If you have this memorized, you should have this memorized. Then you don't need it. But let's go ahead and do a couple more examples. Flip your paper whenever you're ready. Next one is asking us to find the distance between y2. Now this one I did not give you the formula. So let's go ahead and take a look back at you can look at the example 1 or you can look at for the beginning. I'm going to look at the first page and copy down our formula, which is x2 minus x1, y x2 was 0, x1 was 6, y2 was negative 6, y1 was positive 2. Next, I'm going to combine 0 minus 6 is negative 6, negative 6 and negative 2. We're going to find 6 here. That means I have 6 times 6, but because I have negative, I'm going to put negatives in front of this. Here I have negative 8. Don't worry about the negative. I have 8. I'm going to write 8 and 8. Again, what are we doing? We are expanding and I'm going to write negative 8 twice. Here, I'm going to multiply, so this is going to be times. Remember, here's where you're going to ask yourself, are these same or different for your positive versus negative? These are same. Negative and negative give me a positive. 8 times 8 is 64. Again, so don't worry about your negatives too much. Write them out. But here we have 8 squared is 64, and 6 squared. Don't let that scare you. If you want to, you can do this off to the side. Let me do this off to the side. I'll put this in a little bit of a thinking bubble. We can have 36 plus 64. 6 plus I add them together. Taking a look at our cheat sheet, find the square root of 100. Square root of 100, we need to expand this as 10 times 10. And we need to evaluate that the square root of 100 is 10 without the house. Remember, once you evaluate, the house goes away. Alrighty, let's try 2 more. Now the next 2 are going to be based off of your classwork. This is going to be classwork number 24, question number 1 and question number 2. Let's see what they are. 5, -5, -1, -5 here. Label your point. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Two minus x1 squared, y2 minus y1 squared. Making sure to put in the correct number. So x2 was -1, x1 was a +5, y2 was a -5, and y1 is also negative. We are still combining like terms here and here. This time we're adding and using counters. So I have 1 minus 5 minuses. That gives me 6 minuses. Here I have 5 negatives, 5 minuses, 5 pluses. Again, these are gone. So that means I have 5 minus 5, which is 0. And I'm writing 0 twice. Here I am multiplying. Use your cheat sheet if you need to. Negative, negative is a positive. 6 times 6 is 36. 0 times 0 is 0. Here we are. Here we need to expand. Again, you can use your memorization sheet. 36 square rooted is expanding 6 times 6. And we need to Okay, we got one more example. And that's going to be number 2 on your classwork number 24. Let's write out our numbers. I got -7, +7, -2, x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's write out our formula. Here's our formula. X2 minus x1 squared is -2. X1 was -7. Y2 was -5. Y1 is +7. I do see that we have a double negative here, so that means we are now going to change that to adding. These are gone. This is not a double negative. Here we are going to be adding, subtracting. So I got 2 and 7 negatives, so that means 7 minuses, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more minuses. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 negatives. Be careful on that. That's a negative. 5 is a positive. Expand. Use your sheet if you need to. So my sheet, let me find it. Here it is. I need to expand 5 squared. And I need to expand that -12. Again, don't worry that it's negative. Since it is negative, we're going to write a negative, but it's always going to be positive after that. Here we're going to multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. 12 times 12, same, right? Negative times a negative is going to always be a positive. And use your expansion sheet here. So to the side, here's your little thinking bubble. 144 plus 25. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 plus 2, that is 6. Bring down the 1, means we have 169 here. We need to expand 169. Which gives us 13 as our answer. Again, so in Integrated Math 1, you're going to need to skip this expansion. You're going to have to go through 169 all the way to 13th without the expansion. Just make sure that you have your numbers memorized. For the remaining expansions of your squares, multiply, add them, and expand here of your square roots. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!